afternoon everybody, Bowerham broadcast. This broadcast is regards to the remote and home learning. Obviously all the way through COVID we put up choice boards, which meant it was so well received with so many of you because of the high variety of activities that the children were able to do while they were at home. Now that we're back in school, we've reflected and looked at that learning and realised that really the one thing that was missing was the feedback, was the interaction with the class teacher and the child after they've done the work. So we've revisited all of that and we've looked at different learning platforms that we can introduce to the children within school and out of school so that they get that very necessary feedback for the next steps of their learning. We have therefore got 3 platforms that we will be using. Tapestry for our nursery reception and just currently our year 1 parents, and you will be very familiar with that, but we will be putting lots of different activities and tagging the children in, and you get your feedback because your key worker will respond to anything that you put up there on behalf of your children. Then from years 1 to 6 we're introducing something called Showbie. Many of you parents who have got children in year 5 and 6 will already be familiar with Showbie, but Showbie is now going to be part of the everyday teaching for the children so that they can have a look at what they are learning all the time through the Showbie interface. As well as that, we've introduced Teams, Microsoft Teams again, which many of you as parents will possibly be using through your work, and we're doing that for the children so that the children then can have access to actual live lessons if they're at home while they are in school. So all of these platforms will enable all of the children to be able to access learning at home even if all of the other children are in school. We have put a tab on our website called Remote Learning and put that from nursery right through to year 6. So if you click on your child's year group, you'll find a timetable. That timetable is what the children are doing that week. So Monday to Friday in their maths, in their literacy, science topic, RE, PE, everything. So for example, if your child is ill, is having to self-isolate, or a family member is having to self-isolate, they went into school Monday and Tuesday, didn't turn up on the Wednesday, and you knew they were going to be off for the next 10 days, you already know what they covered on the Monday and Tuesday because you could have a look, and then you would know what they would be covering Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The idea about remote learning is that the children do a full day schooling at home. We hope that what we put in place means that the children will be able to independently access that, particularly those children from years 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Uploaded onto Showbie will be the PowerPoints that the teachers will be teaching from, and then there will be activities set. Tonight you will be getting a letter. That letter will explain really clearly what we are doing and how, and also has a wonderful Bowerham guide to home learning that our fabulous Mrs. Gallagher, who is our champion for remote learning and has put everything in place that we are doing alongside Mr. Box. So this is going to be coming out tonight for you to be able to understand how the remote learning happens. So I'm going to hand over to Mrs. Gallagher to explain a little bit more about the 3 interfaces.
Okay, so each interface you can log in with your child's account, and you can log in through, best to log in through a web browser, but there are apps available as well. And then you'll be able to click on the learning you want your child to do that day depending on their timetable, and complete the challenges. Now on Showbie, which is the one we're going to start off using mostly in years 1 to 6, is going to, you'll be able to answer your task in many different ways. So you'll be able to annotate it with voice notes or text boxes. You could take a picture of your child's work if you want them to work on paper. You could upload a video or photo and then submit that back to your teacher, and then they can receive feedback on that. So this weekend what we've done is set a challenge on your Showbie account that says Getting Started Challenge, and what we want you to do is have a go with your child so you can see how it works, and then hopefully get a little bit more familiar with it, and if there's any problems you can email your class teacher.
So you will find your child's passwords at the front of their diary for Showbie. All of the children today have gone through the Showbie, how to get in and where their exciting activity is going to be for this weekend. With that in mind, we're now going to take off the homework tab on the website, and we're going to put homework on remote learning on the timetable for each year group. So it's very specifically, even at nursery, for the bits and pieces that they will be doing reception with the magical maths and the chatter matters and the phonics activities, and then all the way through from years 1 through to 6. The homework will be on the timetable. Again, we have shown the children today where to find that. So all we're going to say is good luck on your Showbie. Have a go. Don't worry. I know many of you have different types of platforms of which to use, laptops, iPads, phones. It goes on a phone, and we've also placed on the letter saying to you, it doesn't have to be an expensive piece of kit. You can use an Amazon Kindle, for example, that is approximately about $49.99. That the children will be able to do all of this interface through and work through on their remote learning. It does also say that the government is giving us some laptops, they haven't arrived yet, that we will be able to loan out to families if they are struggling. And if you are really struggling, if we do end up in isolation at any point, we have got some kit that we could lend you. Just as a secondary bit to this, the only other time that would happen is if we end up having to close a bubble, a year group bubble, or indeed a section of school. Obviously you will have heard quite a lot on the news, a number of local schools where this has happened to, where they've closed either the whole school or sections of it. Our job, my job and the governor's job, is to try and keep this school open for all the children as much as we can. We have got all of the COVID restrictions, the social distancing, the procedures and the policies and the risk assessment in place to make sure that we do that, because obviously it's absolutely vital that we stay open for the children, for you. With that in mind, just make sure that if there was a message that had to do that, it would be through the interface of YouTube and Facebook and the website. And then at that point, because it would be a very quick turnaround, all of the activities will be on the online learning of Showbie and the remote learning, and you will have an understanding of how that works. So it's really important for you as parents that you familiarise yourself with the website, with the remote learning tab, and keep going on to the timetable for your child, and you understand our platforms of Tapestry, Showbie and Teams with further information for that. There are 2 QR codes at the bottom of one of the letter for years 1 to 6. One QR code is a lovely tutorial from Miss Gallagher with regards to Showbie. The other QR code is a lovely tutorial from Mr. Box for teams, and on the reception and nursery letter there is a QR code that is specific for Tapestry, just as a reminder for those parents who may have forgotten how to use it, because we are going to be using different tabs to push through lots and lots of our activities. So other than that, I hope that makes sense. Read the letter. Any questions, don't hesitate to email, and have a lovely weekend. Thanks everyone.